But moving on, gonna move on to the last topic. This Saturday, Deontay Wilder, he's gonna be back in action. He's gonna be taking on a familiar face, Bermane Stiverne. It's a rematch of that fight. It was almost 3 years ago, and Wilder, he's been kind of getting the runaround a little bit. He's kind of been having the emotional, I wouldn't say emotional breakdown, but he's kind of getting, his mental is really being tested here, you know, because first he was supposed to fight Luis Ortiz on this date, but Luis Ortiz got popped for 2 substances, or 3, and Bermane Stiverne was his step-in opponent, and I mean, like I said, he's already fought him before, so do you think he can really get up for this fight, man? Like,
Bermane?
Yeah. And Wilder.
I mean, Bermane, it might be some motivation there. You know, he might feel like, you know, this is my vengeance right here. This is my time to, you know, right that wrong. But Wilder,
Bermane, he actually hadn't fought but 1 time since then.
Yeah, he looked like it when I seen his body.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the guy Derek Rossi dropped him once.
Yeah, so. But I mean, but that's the thing about the sport, and some people have natural gifts, power, good style, or whatever, but you still have to commit to. This ain't other sports where you can, you know, straddle the fence and
kind of wing it.
Nah, with boxing, you got to be about this because everything matters, man.
Yeah, you can see what happens if you take 1 round off.
Yeah,
you can get knocked out. Anything can happen if you take the round off.
So I mean, in my mind, why would a guy like Bermane Stiverne, who still fights out there for him and money to make, let himself not be busy? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, when I seen him, he didn't look in shape. The pictures I seen of him, you know, I don't know what he was doing before he got the call for this fight. You know what I'm saying? But, and then still was another thing, like we were just talking about, how is he entitled to possibly become the champion?
Kind of like the same,
it's the same
with the Kovalev-Shabransky deal. I mean, he, like I said, he hadn't fought since that fight. That Wilder fight was January 2015. It's going on almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So since then, he was supposed to fight Povetkin for a title eliminator, but you know, Povetkin, he got popped.
Right.
So you would think he would be trying to get some busy fights in between, because Wilder's fought 5 times since then. Like 5, 6 times since then.
So ain't no excuse. The champion and fought that many times.
Yeah. And
you're supposed to be hungry.
Yeah, because I mean, okay, you could talk about the competition all day, but I mean, he's staying busy. That's the important part.
Because like we said before, staying busy is better than, you know, staying busy with mediocre competition is better than not doing anything at all in this type of sport. Yeah. It's not like other sports where, like you say, you take a round off, it can cost you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So imagine if you take a year off.
You
know, what kind of shape are you in? What kind of good are you? Nobody knows. So
you know, I mean, and thing in his eyes, he's like, I'm about to give me a nice check too. I mean, so it's just like the guys nowadays don't seem fully committed because stuff comes so quick to them, man. You know, I mean, these guys might get 100,000. That's not a whole lot of money, but that comes by quick nowadays. Yeah. If you know, in the right place, the right time, and, you know, on top of everything.
Yeah, and 6 figures, you know, is a lot for some of these guys that they might not ever see that. You know, like some guy that they just might pick out the woodwork, and he hears 600,000. He'd be like, okay, I'll take
Hop on it.
You know, Takam. How much did Takam make? I heard he made something in the millions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, George Takam. I heard he made something up there. So
Carlos Takam.
Yeah. I heard he made something. So it's like, hey, why not?
Yeah.
But
yeah, for sure.
But in Stiverne's, looking at Stiverne, you know, he's a guy that held the belt at a time. It seemed like he would have been a little bit more disciplined to say, you know, let me take the work road again.
Exactly, because you've been there before. So maybe that wasn't a fluke. Maybe you know, I supposed to be that. And I mean, what else are you going to do? I mean, he ain't no young kid. He ain't old yet.
Yeah.
But these are the years.
And you know you're not a Floyd Mayweather or something where you can jump right into a title fight again. You got to make your name known again, because whenever Wilder beat him, they saw him as a champion that got beat, but they're not going to know you again. You know what I mean? For the next go round, especially after 3 years, you know your name really wasn't buzzing. Before then.
Well, exactly, we wasn't hot before the Wilder fight.
Yeah. Well, we might have, hardcore fans, we might have been, looking you up or trying to see, but the casual fans.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing back then was him and what's the Mexican?
Oh, Chris Areola.
Yeah, him and Areola fights. Yeah, they were like the, his highlights.
Yeah, but for Wilder, I mean, from what he was saying, he's just. He's ready to get this fight over with because he's thinking ahead to AJ, which, hopefully he's not thinking ahead. He's keeping his mind on this fight because last time they fought, it did go to a decision. Yeah. But, this go round, he's talking about, knocking Stiverne out.
Stiverne, he ain't never been knocked out, and Wilder said, I don't know.
Yeah,
because he was eating some shots, boy.
He was.
Stiverne was eating some shots.
Yeah, he was.
He had that good defense, that high guard, but I think them dreads took a little bit of steam off some of them shots, but bad. He was eating them.
Yeah, he was taking, and I mean, that's my debate all the time. Is like, is it good to eat the shots? So I mean, you still getting hurt. Just because you can take Wilder's power, that's not a good look. Yeah. Inside or outside of the ring, before or after a fight, during the fight or after, that's why do you want to take them shots?
I know, it's like a guy standing with his hands down and just letting the guy take a free shot. Yeah. Why, dude? Even if you can do why?
It would have been one thing you said, oh yeah, I was slipping all your punches all day.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You ain't touch me. The first 3 rounds, you couldn't touch me. I had you,
But he was like, I've been eating them like breakfast or whatever. I'm like, shoot. Breakfast can kill you if you eat too much,
Yeah, that's some big ass biscuits right there.
Big biscuits,
So I mean, that's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, people saying stuff like that. You see where the mentality is at. That's not dedication. That's not commitment. That's not, I'm not judging him or nothing. But you have 2 type of boxers, athletes. You have the guys that are the B-Hops, the Floyd Mayweathers, the Joe Calzaghe, it's a lot of guys out there who were just super disciplined with the craft. And to me, once you retire, then you can do a Maidana, live your life. But while you're in this game, if you want to get, to the top and get to the riches, you got to be. There's no other way, man. You
got to be disciplined and make a statement. It's like. It's funny you mentioned Maidana. You see a picture of him on Instagram with them stacks, man. I was like, damn, I wish I was in his position.
I just read another thing. He said, I don't think about boxing no more.
Yeah, because you got to think too. All the while he fought, he was hungry. He was disciplined. He was always on his A game, whether he win or lost. And then when he got his big fight, 2 big fights with Floyd, he retired, and he didn't try to come back. It wasn't like it wasn't like he tried to ever take the low road or try to take the easy road when he was in boxing. Like when he was in there with Amir Khan. And
I mean, he's respected as a warrior in the game.
Yeah, everybody, he's fought. He was always on that road. So when he did retire, it was like a shock to me, but in a good way. It was like, hey, he did his time. He's done,
And I mean, people just start doing the math, and you got the low Adrian Broner payday, then 2 Floyd Mayweather back to back. I mean, you're good.
Yeah, you good. And then when that money like triples over there in Argentina.
Argentina where he's from, so I mean that's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer, but I ain't gonna lie though.
That money tripled like his weight.
Dude, I was just about to say that. Oh my God, that dude look funny, man. All that weight on him. I'm like, dang.
Chino got big, boy. Chino triple, boy.
Man, eating good, but good for him though, man.
But shout out to Chino, man. Yeah, Chino. Like I said, that's discipline. But like we saying with the guy, like Stiverne. You after the Wilder fight, you wanted to see him making a statement again, taking guys out, and then getting back in there with Wilder.
Because I was about to say, they went to the distance. That was another possibility for this fight to happen again down the line.
That was Wilder's first,
12 rounder.
He ended Wilder's knockout streak. Yeah. So he could have made like a name off of that alone.
Could have ran with that a little something.
You know, but going back to Wilder, I think that Wilder mentally, I won't say that he's kind of getting mentally defeated in any way, because if he gets past Stiverne, you know, only good things can come from here. I mean, if he has to fight Dillian White over in the UK before AJ, I guess let me turn to your question. Do you think he should, or do you think he should just?
I mean, from a business standpoint, I think that that's a fight that he could win too. But it's just like, my thing is them giving him, you know, them giving him the steps he has to complete before he gets here. That's my problem with it, you know, because he's a champion too, and he's a champion too. He was a champion before you.
Yeah,
he was a champ before you. Exactly. Now you giving him demands that he got to do before. I mean, that might play into his. You know, he goes in pride too, man.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
that's kind of disrespectful.
It's disrespectful, man.
Because I mean, if you really are a boxer, you would say, okay, money aside, a side aside, he was a champion first.
Exactly.
So why don't you treat him like a champion? You know, give him the fight next. You know, don't try to cheat him as far as the money, because they saying that there was another thing too where they were saying like, you're gonna have to take this
smaller piece of the money,
smaller piece, which is disrespectful to me. I'm like, if you want to do 60-40 or something like that, that's cool. But I mean, 50-50. My dad used to always say back in the day, just make that shit 50-50, like with Joe Frazier and Ali. They used to do, you know, whether or not Ali was, you know, more, you know, he was more popular than Frazier at the time, but they used to come to agreements 50-50 for this fight, you know, because I mean, they both risking the same, you know, life.
And the thing about in their eyes, Joshua's a star over there, but this is a fight that the boxing world wants to see, not just the UK.
Yeah.
Not just the UK. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they have to take that and told that this is not necessarily about the UK. This is a fight that the boxing fans are demanding and want to see. And
because hardcore fans want to see Wilder in there just as much as they want to see Joshua.
Exactly.
You know, UK fans or casual fans, they probably just want to see Joshua.
Yeah, you know? Exactly. That's a very good point, because we want to see Wilder in there just as much as we want to see AJ in there. To be honest, Wilder is more deserving to be in there than AJ, if you ask me. But you know, it is what it is. But we definitely want to see those guys in there, because that's a fight that needs to happen. You know, we ain't looking at the A side or the B side. I don't care if AJ is a sex symbol, none of that crap. Yeah. In my eyes, he's a boxer. You know what I'm saying? And boxers box, and champions face the best out. So I mean, I'm just going on the simple rules of the sweet science. That's it. I didn't make this shit up, man.
No, I mean, it's what everybody wants, but some people don't want to admit, you know, because they let money get in the way. But I mean, deep down, that's what they want to see. Yeah, you know, they're just trying to hold out. But as far as your call for this weekend, Wilder Stiverne, how you think it's gonna go?
It's interesting because, like you say, you know, Wilder, I didn't really factor into him being mentally, you know, I think that stuff can drain you, and you know, going through the emotions and this and that, you know. But he seems like a strong person emotionally. I don't really see him unraveling and you know, going off the deep end. So maybe he's keeping, you know, his composure through all this. And if it's not affecting him, I think it's another easy fight. I think he's probably going to knock him out this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But does he want to risk knocking him out, breaking the hand, and you know, being out again too? You know, messing up another fight. So it's a couple little, you know, issues with that too. You know, because he got issues breaking that hand too.
Yeah, and torn bicep injury.
Torn bicep. So
I think this fight is just going to come down to him being a little bit more disciplined. I think he can stop him. I think going by the shape that Stiverne is in, it's going to that's definitely going to be a downfall, a disadvantage. So when you factor that in versus Wilder still being able to close the show, even off an injury, you know, if you look back at that Gerald Washington fight, he came back, You know, he was trailing a little bit first few rounds, but he turned it around quick.
Right.
And I mean, Gerald Washington, to me, he was more game than Stiverne is going to be in this fight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm predicting. I'm thinking that Washington was more game than, than Stiverne's ever going to be in this condition now.
Yeah.
So I think he might stop him in the late rounds. Man.
Yeah. I concur.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I'll go with that. But after this fight, what we want to see.